A warrant has been issued for a Kentucky murder suspect after he was mistakenly released from jail. People are still having to evacuate from North Carolina after Hurricane Matthew. More on the flooding ahead at 4:30. And a Kentucky Air National Guardsman is walking more than 100 miles in honor of his fallen friend. We'll have an update on his progress.
This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon. Barbara Bailey and Amber Philpott reporting. Sam has the afternoon off. A Kentucky murder suspect slips through the cracks.
The family of a Louisville murder victim is upset after finding out one of the suspects in the case was able to walk out of jail. Our Monique Blair is tracking how this kind of mistake could have happened. It's our top story at 4:30.
Hi, Amber and Barbara. Tyrone Booker Sr. showed up at the courthouse yesterday. He was ready to see the two brothers who are accused of killing his 21-year-old son. But one of those suspects was not in court. Kentry Moore showed up to his hearing, but Terrence Moore did not. Officials say the brothers killed Tyrone Booker Jr. in March during a drug deal in Louisville. Both were behind bars awaiting trial until September 30th, when Terrence Moore was released from the Pike County Jail. He was transferred first from Jefferson County, then to Taylor County, and then to Pike County to answer charges in a separate case.
What I'm having a hard time dealing with is how can 3 counties in one state allow something like this to slip through the cracks?
Apparently, Pike County has released.
Now, officials at the Pike County Jail say they never received any holding documents for Moore, so that's why they say he was released. You will hear more from the jail coming up at 5:30, and there is now a warrant out for Moore's arrest. At the live desk, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thank you. And we have reached out to the Department of Corrections multiple times today. We are still waiting to get more information explaining why Moore was released.
We're enjoying beautiful fall weather here in the Bluegrass, but change is on the way. We may see a cooler end to our week. Let's check in now with meteorologist Chris Bailey.
You know what? We are dealing with some very nice weather across central and eastern Kentucky, and that's going to continue to be the case as we roll our way through the next couple of days. Then those changes will begin to show up second half of the week. Right now, let's take you into the mountains of eastern Kentucky, shall we? Where you're starting to see the fall colors. Not so much on this camera view because you've got a little overcast, a little shadow kind of on the mountains there, but a mix of sun and clouds there in the distance. Temperatures into the 70s again this afternoon. And we'll have one more day similar to what we have out there today. That is coming up for tomorrow. And a little mix of sun and clouds across the entire area. That product of change that will promote the cooler air is cold fronts out across the plain states. Chilly air, downright winter time into parts of the Rockies right now. Some big time snows and freezing conditions around here. Cold fronts. That's right, cold fronts are on the way over the next week. First will arrive on Thursday, some chilly air to follow that. And coming up here in just a matter of minutes, we will time that front into where you live and show you how the thermometers do take a little dive behind it. That's in less than 10.
All right, change it on the way, as you said.
Indeed.
Well, 31 counties in North Carolina are now considered federal disaster areas. Rescue operations are still underway in communities flooded by Hurricane Matthew.
Rivers are still days away from cresting while levees and dams are being pushed to their limits. Don Champion is in the hard-hit city of Lumberton with the latest.
58-year-old Joni Gaddy did not think she'd make it out alive.
Alligators and snakes, water up to your knees in my house.
Floodwaters continue rising in her hometown of Lumberton, North Carolina. Gaddy had been trapped in her home since Saturday and could not find help.
I had signs on my house. I had sheets and towels screaming at them. They just never stopped.
We spoke to Gaddy moments after her son Gene, who drove from Michigan, rescued her. His clothes were still drenched from braving chest-high water.
And we got halfway there, heard a voice, and I mean, that just gave us like a burst of energy, like, let's get to it. It's Mom, what would you do? You only get one.
At least 3 rivers here in North Carolina are expected to reach record levels in the coming days. The Lumber River here in Lumberton may not crest until Friday. Crews have used boats, trucks, and helicopters for over 2,000 rescues. More than a dozen people have died in the state, most killed while trying to drive into floodwaters.
Today if we say the water's coming and we say do not drive through that water, we mean it.
In Moore County, inspectors are working to shore up the Wood Lake Dam. About 92,000 county residents were ordered to evacuate and are waiting on word when they might be allowed to go back home. Don Champion, CBS News, Lumberton, North Carolina.
The North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation is looking into a shooting death that happened during a rescue operation. Officials say a highway patrol trooper shot and killed a man in Lumberton who pulled out a handgun. He is walking to honor his fallen friend. A Kentucky Air National Guardsman is walking more than 100 miles from Louisville to Moorhead.
Captain Nathan Tingle says the Ruck for Colin honors Navy SEAL Colin Thomas, a Moorhead native who died in Afghanistan 6 years ago. As Hillary Thornton reports, it's all to raise money for the Special Operations Warrior Foundation.
Captain Nathan Tingle making his way here through Versailles earlier today. The journey starting back on Sunday in Louisville at the last place he saw his fallen comrade.
Initiated in 2010 when Colin Thomas was killed in Afghanistan, and I wasn't here. I was traveling with the military at that time, so I wasn't able to attend his memorial in Moorhead, and that kind of weighed on me for a couple years.
That is why back in 2014, after searching for a way to honor Colin Thomas while also raising money, Tingle deciding on a ruck march, walking roughly 140 miles with a backpack of heavy equipment, making the trek from Flanagan's Ale House in Louisville to both Thomas and Tingle's hometown of Moorhead. Tingle's dad traveling the route in an RV bearing the banner for the cause, giving the Air Force captain a place to refuel and rest along the way. The walk honoring the fallen Navy SEAL while raising money in his name for the Special Operations Warrior Foundation.
It's a phenomenal charity that provides education for the children of fallen special operators. So even though Colin didn't have any children of his own, he had several teammates that he lost. And so I kind of think of it as a way that he's still, even though he's gone, he's still making an impact on other people's lives.
Tingle's last walk raising more than $10,000 this year. He is looking to more than double that. And Tingle hopes to be in Moorhead by 11 o'clock Friday morning for the start of the annual golf scramble in memory of Thomas. In Woodford County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Hillary, thank you. And if you'd like to donate to the cause, visit our website, WKYT.com, for a link. UK's team posters for the upcoming basketball season have been unveiled. The posters will be first distributed at Big Blue Madness Friday. Beginning Saturday, fans can pick them up at any Kroger location throughout the state. There are 4 versions of this year's poster. Each poster is double-sided with faces of 2 members of the team on each side and the season schedule in between. In addition to the players, one of the 4 posters features John Calipari and Adolph Rupp, which could be a fan favorite.
He is now known as the man in the red sweater. Coming up, Ken Bone tells us what was behind his now famous last-minute clothing choice for the presidential election.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Another great day just about in the weather books across central and eastern Kentucky. You've got a little sun, you've got those nice looking clouds giving your sky a little flavor, mild temperatures, the leaves are changing. What's not to like about life? Look outside, WKYT Weather Garden showing off a little bit of fall color action out there, and it's a sign of things to come over the next few weeks. Everybody into the 70s throughout central and eastern Kentucky, and we will stay there for one more day. Now, if you're out this evening, it's a pleasant one, but a quick drop in temperatures because of the dry air that is in place. We'll go from the mid-60s right around sunset to the low and mid-50s by the time 11 o'clock rolls around, even with a little bit of high cloud cover that will be out there. Defender Radar Network, nothing across most of central Kentucky to our west. It gets windy, and then you get a cold front, and that front will arrive into town as we go through the next couple of days. What does that front have behind it? Well, out ahead of it, it's got a surge of some really warm air for the Mississippi Valley. But look at what a temperature drop here. Right along and behind that boundary, you go from the 80s in Kansas to the 30s just to the north of that front. That's a big time drop, and it's snowing into parts of the Dakotas as of now. And that front, like its predecessor over the weekend, will deliver us some chilly air by the time we go toward the end of the week. Windy and a mild day, though clouds will be on the increase for your Wednesday. Thursday, can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm early. Don't cancel anything. Many of us may not see very much rain at all Thursday. It's windy and it's going to be a lot cooler, though. Still breezy and cool. Low and mid 60s coming up Thursday into Friday. Right now, we'll keep Friday mainly dry. There's a teeny tiny shot for a late day shower. Most of that will hold off, though, until we get deeper into the weekend with another cold front heading our way. Hour by hour forecast. Let's walk you through the next few days and let's break it down by 11 o'clock. 50s. That's a quick drop in your thermometer as that sun gets low on the horizon. 40s in the morning. This will likely break our streak. We've had 3 mornings in a row, by the way, where we've had some pockets of mid and upper 30s showing up somewhere across central and eastern Kentucky. 'Tis the season. Noontime, 70-ish, low and mid 70s. That may be just a little undercooked with some of those temperatures tomorrow afternoon, but clouds will begin to increase. That is our cold front, but it does not have a lot of moisture with it. Yeah, you've heard me say that a time or two over the past couple of months. So we went from an incredibly soaker of a summer to all of a sudden a fall where it's hard to buy a drop of rain. Now, typically this is a dry time of the year anyway, but this is even drier than we should be. Watch your thermometer, though, behind that front on Thursday. Notice how it does not recover very much at all. Low and mid 60s into Thursday afternoon. But that's a quick drop in thermometers, and this model at least thinks the 30s and some deep into the 30s will show up Friday morning. I'm not ready to go that chilly just yet. We'll call for upper 30s and low 40s with a kiss of frost in the valleys on Friday morning. A little bounce back on Saturday. Another cold front will likely knock us down a little bit on Sunday. We'll bounce it back up early next week toward the low and mid 70s. Coldest air of the season may be lurking for the end of next week. So you get the idea. Up and down we go. Have the Dramamine ready.
Just a little something, though, for everybody. If you like it warm, if you like it chilly, everybody's covered, right?
Variety.
There you go.
There it
It's the spice of weather life.
Thanks, Chris.
All right.
Well, after Hurricane Matthew made its way up the coast, officials in South Carolina made an explosive discovery along the state shore.
Yeah, take a look at this. Civil War cannonballs were found unearthed in Folly Beach near Charleston. The old cannonballs were discovered by the city's former mayor, who was walking along the beach when he spotted the rocky-looking cannonballs fused together by rust. County bomb squad and the U.S. Air Force officials responded and confirmed the old weapons, removing and detonating most of the find, with the rest going to a nearby naval base.
It's a party for the pumpkins, a fall family festival. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at the Arboretum today.
A celebration of fall is coming up at the Arboretum on the University of Kentucky campus.
And it sounds like so much fun. Our Deanne Stevens is out and about with more on the Party for the Pumpkins. Hey, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon. We are here at the Arboretum, and I'm right in the middle of the straw maze. And I'm contemplating taking a little shortcut, but that wouldn't be a whole lot of fun to cheat in the straw maze. We have Kara with us, who is with, she's actually Miss Precious Pumpkin. That's what I'm calling her today. We're celebrating pumpkins on Saturday here at the Arboretum, here in the middle of the straw maze. Is that legal for the shortcut? Are we allowed to do that, Kara?
I don't think so. I would definitely say make it the whole way through.
All right, let's you and I get started as we talk about this party for the pumpkins happening here on Saturday. Tell us all about it.
So it's the second annual Party for the Pumpkins Fall Family Festival. So it's a family fun event. There will be crafts.
Lots of crafts, lots of different activities for the kids, right? Because I understand there's going to be like a big magical tent set up too.
Yes, UK students painted like 400 different pumpkins where all the kids are able to look at them. And it'll be a great experience for the family and the kids looking at all the different pumpkins.
And if the kids are 12 and under, they get a special little treat with the price of admission.
Yes, they get a free pumpkin to take home with them, which is super exciting, so they can carve that with their family when they get home.
I understand you are a UK student yourself. And from what Nancy was sharing with us here at the Arboretum, it takes so many students like you guys to put events like this on. Talk about the Arboretum and what an awesome service it is to you all as a student here.
Yeah, it's super amazing. This event couldn't be done without all the UK students. It's super amazing because it is on UK's campus and we get to see the impact being made.
And you too can see what's going on here at the Arboretum with lots of different fun celebrating the pumpkin this Saturday. The event is from 2 until 6 o'clock. Admission is $7. That's your ticket, and 12 and under kids get to take home a pumpkin. You don't need a ticket beforehand. You just come on out here and pay your $7 for the activities, the fun, and the celebration, the party for the pumpkins. Come on out Saturday. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at the Arboretum. Back to you guys.
Young lady makes a very cute little pumpkin there.
Absolutely, a lot of fun going on. Well, a cyclone is about to hit Broadway. CBS celebrates 30 years at the top of daytime TV.
And a popular actress gets arrested. Suzanne Marquez has your eye on entertainment.
Divergent actress Shailene Woodley was arrested for taking part in a protest over the Dakota Access Pipeline. The 24-year-old was part of a demonstration on behalf of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, which calls the pipeline destructive. On Sunday, a federal appeals court removed an injunction that halted work on the project. And the brightest stars of CBS daytime TV were shining at the Paley Center for Media to celebrate 30 years on top of the ratings. The ladies of the talk joined The Price is Right's Drew Carey and CBS soap stars to look back on the network's impact on daytime TV. So you're part of this 30 years on top. How does that feel?
I feel like a third as good as I think I should feel.
The exhibit, CBS Daytime #1 for 30 years, runs through November. In New York, the curtain went up on the new comedy Oh Hello on Broadway. Nick Kroll and John Mulaney play 70-something New Yorkers in a partly unscripted laugh fest similar to fans of Comedy Central. And also in New York, a new musical about a most unusual roller coaster ride is about to open. The cast of Ride the Cyclone includes Taylor Lauderman, who says the show's life and death themes affected her personally.
It just left me appreciating life itself, you know.
Ride the Cyclone opens December 1st. And that's your Eye on Entertainment. Suzanne Marquez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Olympic swimmer, dancer, and now husband-to-be. Ryan Lochte has announced that he's engaged. The Olympic swimmer and Dancing with the Stars contestant popped the question over the weekend to Playboy model Kayla Ray Reid. Lochte posted this photo on Instagram showing the couple kissing and Reid sporting an engagement ring. The pair met in January at a holiday nightclub. It's positive news for Lochte months after he was charged in Brazil after he and fellow Olympic swimmers lied about being beaten and robbed.
Favorable ratings for Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump may or may not have changed after Sunday's debate, but social media users appear to have an overwhelmingly favorable opinion of one of the audience members. His name is Ken Bone, and he is now a meme. Bone's question to Clinton and Trump was about energy policy, but his instant internet fame seemed to be more of a result of his red cardigan, black-rimmed glasses, and likable personality. Bone says his red sweater was a last-minute decision.
I had an olive-colored suit that I had picked out for the day. That's my favorite suit. And apparently I've gained a few pounds since the last time I wore it. And when I got in my car to leave for the debate, I tore the seat out of the pants.
Well, that's not good. Within minutes of the debate, someone created a Ken Bone Facebook page and, of course, a parody Twitter account. The red Izod pullover sweater that the undecided voter wore during Sunday night's presidential debate became an instant internet hit. It is actually now sold out. It's also possible we could be seeing a lot of Ken Bone costumes for Halloween. He was a good sport.
Absolutely, he was. I bet we'll see a few politicians in costume.
Maybe so, yes.
We'll see. Well, still ahead, some presidential pumpkins are winners of an underwater pumpkin carving contest. Now, this is weather that is so easy to enjoy. It's pleasant, it's beautiful.
We're actually getting fall for once, right?
At least
something
for a little
like
bit.
it.
Hang on to it.
Chris Bailey, keep it coming for us.
Yeah, we're going to try it. We'll give you one more day of this really good stuff. Temperatures out there in the 70s, mix of sun and some clouds. So it's low and mid 70s depending on where you are across central and eastern Kentucky. But overall, it's a nice sky. And if you're out this evening, we'll drop it quickly after sunset with dry air in place from the 60s into the mid-50s by the time 11 o'clock rolls around with a mix of stars and some high clouds out there. But overall, no real complaints from the weather standpoint as we go into the evening. We'll open up the complaint department with a few cold fronts on the move. I'll track those in a bit. Right now, let's track the traffic and Officer Don.
Live look at Lexington rush hour traffic. Couple of collisions working right now, including one at Alumni and Chenaway. Now, that's problematic for outbound Chenaway approaching Tate's Creek, and also for traffic heading in from the Circle. That's a really busy intersection to have an injury at collision this time of the day. There's one at South Broadway and Bolivar. That's outbound South Broadway with a right lane block. That is a non-injury. Drive times this afternoon: 15 minutes to Nicholasville, 13 to Versailles, and 22 to Paris. Now back to you in the studio.
Officer Don, thank you. Breaking a record and the winner of an underwater pumpkin carving contest. It's the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this.
Thousands of couples showed up at Western Michigan University over the weekend, but they weren't there to study. Instead, they gathered to break the Guinness World Record for the most vow renewals made in one place at the same time. The event brought people from around the state, the country, and in at least one case from around the world. And all at once, they said, "I do."
When Mayor Hopewell actually read and we had to repeat the vows, it was an emotional moment for me. I ended up getting tears in my eyes. It was just great to be able to do that again. I think it's something that maybe we should do every single year.
How sweet. Organizers say the record-breaking attempt was a success. With 1,201 couples taking part, that was good enough to break the previous record of 1,087 couples getting their vows renewed together, and that was back in 2009.
We say congratulations to them,
That's
don't
sweet,
we?
yes.
We are just 20 days away from Halloween. Maybe you've already started carving your pumpkins. Some people in Florida have, but with a twist, of course. This is the underwater pumpkin carving contest in the Florida Keys. The winners of the contest made these pumpkins. I knew I wouldn't say it. Howard Clinton and Donald Trumpkin. The winners also made the pumpkin you see right there in the middle. It is a "Who Should We Vote For" sign on its head. The pumpkins were carved 30 feet below the surface. I can't even do it out of the water, let alone in the water, right?
But interesting choices there.
They make it look so easy. On that note, please stick with us. Here's what we're working on for you now at 5 o'clock.